Have you ever been sick and felt like it would never end? Sometimes weeks, sometimes months, maybe even years. Kind of like our next lady with the issue of blood. Not only was she sick, but she was discarded as part of society. When I think of how she must have felt after Jesus looked at her, really looked at her and saw a person of value, and then touched her body so that she could join society again, the only word I can think of is gratitude.
Have you ever not felt good or broke a bone or just really known that you just can't keep going the way that you're feeling? That's kind of a silly question because, of course, we're human. We're made of flesh and bone. We live in a broken world, and of course we're going to get sick from time to time. But I have to tell you, it's in those moments that you almost forget what it felt like to just feel good and to just go on. And you realize that you take for granted that good health when you don't feel so great. Well, I have to tell you, even more than that, have you ever been sick and not felt good for a week, a month, years? I have to tell you that for years, more than a decade, I had an ailment, and it changed everything about me. It changed my life. Because, you see, I was unclean. I could not stop bleeding. And when you can't stop and you're so unclean, no one wants to be anywhere near you. Do you know what it's like to want to just reach out and give your baby a hug? But you can't because you're unclean. To want to just reach out and touch your husband, but you can't because you're unclean. I can't walk down the street to the market. I can't be in love, be loved, or be touched by anyone because I'm so unclean. Well, I have to tell you, I had heard about Jesus. I had heard all of the stories about his wonderful miracles and all of the things that he could do. And I thought, this is what I need in my life. I need Jesus. I have to find this man. And one Christmas, I heard that he was coming. I heard that he was going to be in our town and even possibly walking down our street. And I knew about the crowds and all the people, and I was terrified. I remember just sitting there thinking, how am I supposed to leave? How am I supposed to go rub shoulders with these people when I'm unclean and then I make them unclean? And what if I touch Jesus? And I'm the one to make him unclean. Is that even possible? But I'd have to tell you, I was terrified. But I was willing to break the law to get there. I was willing to look at the impossible demands of the Pharisees and the law telling me I was no good, that I was unclean and I had no worth. And I thought, I'm going to be in that street and I'm going to find my Jesus. And I have to tell you, I was squeezing and trying to get in. I could hear him speaking. I could see him. And I thought, there's no way. There's no way I'm going to get to him. And how many people have I touched, and when are they going to know? When are they going to realize it's me sneaking through the crowd? And all of a sudden I saw him, and I just went for it. I dove, and I felt just the tips of my fingers touch his robe. And in that moment, I could feel the Spirit flowing through my body. And in that moment, I knew that I was clean and that I was healed. That everything, all the ailment, 12 years, I thought there was no hope. And now one touch of Jesus, I could feel his spirit flowing through me. So I just have to tell you this one last thing today. As you come across the Christmas season, walk down that street. Enter into those circumstances. Enter into the Holy of Holies. And know that no matter what is happening and what goes on, that Jesus has the real gift and is the real gift this season.